Howdy, Aries. Welcome to your July 2018 love reading. Katrina here. Shuffling the cards, doing a variation on my typical spread. I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot deck. And I've been picking the last card. I'm going to, each little pile, I'm going to cut again and then pick the card that comes out. So then I'm going to put that aside. Kind of cut the cards and pick this card. Ooh. Now this goes over here. Still trying to get my bearings on this. Now, do I put this over here? Probably. Okay, cut the cards, pick this. Okay. Put this to the side. And then I'm going to put this to the side. Cut the cards, and then pick this. Cut the cards, and pick this. Put this to the side. Let's see. Cut the cards. Okay. And last but not least, I will collect all these and pick the one at the bottom. Okay. Just mixing things up a little bit. Alrighty then. And if you hear like some birds screeching, I think it's a blue jay, but don't quote me on that. Okay, so the focus of July, this could be a significant event, just a theme for what is going on in your love life. We have the Ten of Cups, which is a beautiful card in the Minor Arcana. This is actually the Happily Ever After card. This is a card of marriage. This is a card of the pot at the end of the rainbow. End of the rainbow. So the 10 that is represented here is the end of a cycle. But when we think of endings, we usually think, okay, something bad is happening because it's coming to an end. But it's the end of a saga, maybe the end of the story of you not finding who you wanted to find. And now you found this person, and isn't this wonderful? Maybe you go to a wedding and you meet your soulmate. But it could be you tying the knot or joining the life of another in a living situation. And this is the logical next step for you and this other person. So, in other words, it's a very positive card. Now, we look to what led up to this, and we have the Star card. So this is a card about you regaining a sense of hopefulness in life. This is also connected to Aquarius, so it's possible that your beloved is an Aquarian, and definitely Aries and Aquarian would make a great combination, that's for sure. But this is about healing and maybe even feeling guided by a loved one who has crossed over, or just some kind of feeling within yourself of more positivity. And it could be because you met this person, and that, you know, don't get caught up in a timeline here about the past. The past could have been maybe a year ago, and maybe this Ten of Cups is the culmination of that in July, of you finally making it official, and other people acknowledging this relationship as an important one in your life. Aries people have been through the ringer, I think a lot of you would say. I don't like to say things like that because, first of all, some of you may have had a wonderful 10 years, but some of you, because of these cardinal long-term transits that have formed stressful angles to you, like Pluto and Capricorn as an example, you may have felt like you were under siege. And so the thing about this is that it's kind of like, I can't think of the perfect metaphor or analogy, but you're being, you know, I don't know what they, you know, when you like kind of polish a stone or something, you're being refined through the fire, you know what I mean? Baptized through the fire, but refined through it. And that actually helps you, even though it feels like everything's being thrown at you. And you did have Uranus in your sign for 7 years. Now it's out. It will be going back in later on. I think like in the late fall or something. So you're going to have a little taste again of Uranus when it goes retrograde back in Aries. But you may have felt like you could never sense what was coming next in the last 7 years or so. And now you feel like this sense of things getting better in your life. And it's because of this person. And the thing to work on, this is the spiritual assignment, if you will. This card represents thoughts that hold you back. So even though I consider Aries one of the most positive signs in the zodiac that tends not to think negatively or is trapped in the past, there still can be areas of improvement. And for Aries people, this can involve a feeling of perhaps needing to be acknowledged as well, excuse me. I would put it in terms of competitive tendencies in general, wanting to be acknowledged as number one or something like that. And in relationships, maybe even argumentative tendencies. The swords connect with conflict, and Aries people seem to enjoy conflict, thrive on it. And I know I don't have any planets in Aries, but I'm a Sagittarian and I'm a fire sign, and I know that fire signs like to get a little spicy and a little heated. And we have to sometimes watch those tendencies, because it's almost like enjoying conflict, feeling comfortable with conflict, and not seeing the detrimental effects of it. So embracing more of peaceful existence and not seeing it as boring. And for some Aries people, you may lack confidence. You may have inner planets in Pisces, which is right next to your sign, or just a moon in any sign like Pisces or Virgo or something like that. And you may have a lot of insecurities, self-doubt. And with Aries, the tendency is to try to throw your weight around, to try to compensate for that, overcompensate. So that can create conflict in your relationship. So anything that holds you back from having the kind of relationship that you want to really look at that and work with it and sit with it. Sit with your thoughts. See where you have formed opinions that may be erroneous, and admit to them within yourself. Self-inquiry is always like a really helpful tool for affecting change in your life. So, some practical steps that you can take to create love, attract love in your life. The Ace of Swords is about seeing things as they really are. I mentioned this card in the middle, which is such a beautiful card. And really, it's kind of interesting that I have that card, and yet I have the Eight of Swords. So it's possible that the Ten of Cups is what you want more than anything in life. And yet what you have is more like the Eight of Swords. So if that's the case, if you're not somebody who's celebrating a union with someone and you're not in that positive state and you feel more like the Eight of Swords, you feel more oppressed, you feel that you're trapped in a terrible relationship, or if you're single, that you're trapped in this kind of vicious cycle of negative self-talk and negative relationships that always end in conflict. The Ace of Swords is asking you to see things as they really are. See things in yourself. Don't lie to yourself about some of the things that you need to work on. If you're in a problematic relationship, see that as it really is, so that you can get on with your life. It's possible that you are in denial about something, and it's keeping you from having what you want. That's always actually the case, is that whenever people are in denial over what is going on, that it keeps them rooted in this negative situation. And it's kind of interesting because I don't see Aries people in general as being deluded. I think sometimes it's more like negligent, of not seeing the small details, not really taking the time to reflect in life, being too eager to take action in life and not enough to meditate or sit still, be still and know. And so please do that. Please make a practice of not doing, not talking, not thinking, but just being, and be here now. Don't have your mind on the future. Don't have your mind on the past. Be here now. See things as they really are. See yourself so that you know the right action to take. Possible obstacle for you is represented by the Wheel of Fortune. It can be that, let's see what is happening for you eclipse-wise. Okay. I'm trying to think if... Well, I'm not going to get into that because I don't think that's really germane to what we're talking about. But the reason I was trying to see about that is I was trying to think about the transits and the cycles of life. The Wheel of Fortune is about the cycles of life. And maybe there is a cycle that you're going through right now in your own personal chart, not related to this general reading, Aries, that deals with you having to face certain things within yourself, inner work, shadow work. And oh my gosh, I'll tell you. And I know how Aries thinks. They think that all they need to do is to do something about it, whatever it is. And sometimes you have to accept what cycle you're in. Sometimes you may try to do something and you experience resistance, maybe doors closing. That's a time not to double down, Aries, but to respect timing. Maybe you're in a cycle that is more reflective and not as active. And there, everything has its season. Everything will be coming into fruition when it's the appropriate time. Perhaps some of you are eager to get married, be coupled with somebody in that permanent thing. Yeah, I was thinking maybe you're going through your first Saturn return, maybe in your late 20s, and you're frustrated because you're trying to make something happen. And it's just not the right time, maybe. And Maybe you're trying to get out of a relationship and there's something within you that is resistant to that. Don't try to fight it. Don't create more resistance. Accept, love yourself as you are in this moment. If you identify with the Eight of Swords, if you feel oppressed, Aries, own that. Love that about yourself. Don't try to berate yourself and say that you should be braver than you are. You know, Aries is known for bravery, but you know, sometimes we don't feel up to the task. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It may be a timing issue. And you have to have patience. And that's something that Aries needs to work on, is more patience. There could be a Sagittarius person who is not right for you. Because this connects to Jupiter, but I just thought of something. Jupiter goes direct in July in Scorpio. So it's actually affecting your 8th house, and that's the house of intimacy. Maybe as Jupiter gains in strength, you will find that things start to go better for you. What is coming in is represented by the Seven of Swords. You may be kind of sneaking out of a relationship. This is about going it alone. And if you are currently in a problematic relationship, you may be trying to just disentangle from that relationship in a very kind of a clever way. And I always call this like the sleeping with the enemy card with that movie with Julia Roberts, where she had this psycho husband that, you know, was very controlling. And I'm not saying that you have that kind of situation going on, but just that sense of like leaving a relationship in a very subtle way so that there's not a lot of drama. Because especially if you have fallen in love with somebody else, that may be very, very important. But even if, for some of you, it's just like you're going to go it alone for now. And you're going your own way. And you are perfectly capable of standing on your own 2 feet. You may feel unsure of yourself, but you can do this. For others of you who are happy that you found someone, you still may have some kind of relationship to get out of. That's what I'm getting here, is that there still is something that needs to be kind of dealt with. It may be possible that this is with an Aquarius person. Maybe the Aquarius is the problem, not the love of your life. I was thinking of it in positive terms. The outcome is the Eight of Wands, and it's almost like a dam bursts open. Again, the timing of this, maybe this is as we enter August, when the sun is gaining strength in the sign of Leo. There will be a solar eclipse in Leo. This is your 5th house of love. Everything may just explode wide open for you in August at the time of that solar eclipse, which is the 11th of August. New beginnings in love, feeling like $1 million, feeling joyful, feeling let out of prison, maybe, if you were in an oppressive situation. But hope restored, healing, excitement. You know, the Eight of Wands is about a flurry of activity, maybe making plans, feeling passionate. Great stuff, especially for a fire sign, because this is fiery energy, Aries. I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you'd like a private reading, please click on the link below, Aries. Have a wonderful July. Take care. Bye.